Hello, NAAIA community. Get ready to relive insightful discussions, gain fresh perspectives, and be inspired by the wealth of knowledge our community has to offer. Let's dive into another episode.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon and good morning, depending on where you are joining us from today. Welcome to our 2026 Membership Town Hall. We are thrilled to have you here and provide some really important updates on what NAAIA has been up to and what you can expect going forward. As we always do with our webinars, we invite you to start by helping us test the chat, and you can share who you are and where you are dialing in from today. As we see people are joining the call. This is great. All right, good. Good to see folks coming in. Okay, well, welcome. I'm Amari Ernst Martin. I am NAAIA's National President and CEO, and I'm thrilled to get us started with today's update. As you see beside me to my right, your left, we have this chair, which will not be empty for long. So I'm excited today to be joined by Ashley White, our Chief of Staff, and Jeff DeSnow, our Chief Operating Officer, to provide you with these updates. Here's what we're going to be talking about today. So first, we'll open with just an update on our Vision 2030 strategy to make sure that you know what's going on. We're going to share results from our NAAIA Census that you just took. Ashley's going to join me to talk about our virtual summits and how our programs for the year have gone so far, and what you can expect coming. And then Jeff will join to share an update on our NAAIA National Conference in Charlotte this September. And then we'll have time to take questions from you directly. So certainly continue to use the chat for engagement, speak with each other, and share reactions. And if you have questions for us to be able to answer for you today, please drop them in the Q&A box so that we can find them there. I want to start always by just refreshing us on our Vision 2030 strategy and reminding you what we are after as an organization. So Vision 2030 is NAAIA's enterprise strategy. It guides the work that we undertake as a membership association, the programming that we do, how we make decisions as an organization on what we're doing and what we're not doing. And it is also our blueprint for sustainability around our membership footprint, our chapter footprint, our financial footprint and where we're spending money, and places in which we are securing revenues to undertake this work. There are three outcomes of our Vision 2030 strategy. The first is helping to position insurance and risk management as a career and industry of choice. Second is to help our community leverage insurance as a vehicle for growing and protecting generational wealth. And third is the role that insurance can play in closing the racial wealth gap. And so through our programming and through our strategic initiatives that we undertake as an organization and partnerships with several others, this is the work that we are doing toward the future of the industry that we are building together. In the end, what we are looking to create is a larger and stronger, more connected, more influential ecosystem for Black and African American insurance professionals and all of our members at NAAIA. And so you'll see on the right side of the screen here that we have a couple of statistics that we believe that we will reach as part of our Vision 2030 strategy. So growing towards 7,500 members, 50 chapters, including a launch of student chapters, continuing to grow the number of Black and African American C-suite in the insurance and risk management industry, growing our global affiliates and expanding on partnerships that we have currently in Toronto and London, on the African continent, and in Bermuda, publishing our third journey study as follow-up from our 2018 Journey of African American Insurance Professional Study and our 2023 Next Steps on the Journey study, and then continuing to grow not just our revenue, but also our impact. So growing our revenue to $3.8 million annually, and then moving to distribute $250,000 in scholarships annually across our NAAIA National Network. So how are we doing on those goals so far? So as you see here on the screen, our membership continues to grow. So looking at where we started in 2020 with just under 1,000 members, and then crossing over 1,000 in 2021, all the way up to today. We're now at just over 3,400 members from in our current count, up from where we've been. So this is really tremendous growth. We've been growing around 22% year over year from a membership standpoint. And that puts us very well on track to meeting our 7,500 member target in the year 2030. So we're feeling really good about the strength of our community and the role types that are present and what all of us are adding together to NAAIA as a community. When we look at conference, we also see as our largest convening that we offer at NAAIA, that about 200, just over 200 people in our pre-COVID average, and then coming out of COVID in 2022 very strongly. And we have continued to grow year over year with our conference. So last year we had just over 1,300 people join us in Philadelphia for our national conference. And this year we have room for just up to about 1,500 people to join us in Charlotte this coming September as well. So we are seeing our conference grow. We're now at nearly 6 times the size that we were prior to 2020 in our overall conference. And then as we think about our chapter network, and so more opportunities to engage locally right where you are with NAAIA and with other professionals within our community. We have grown our chapters to now 33 chapters. You might recall that last year in our town hall, we were talking about our largest cohort of new chapters ever in NAAIA's history, with 10 new chapters. All of whom are doing very well. And so since that update, we've seen charters for NAAIA Cincinnati, for NAAIA Orlando, for NAAIA Tampa Bay, and NAAIA Portland as well. And we are expecting the teams in Nashville, Seattle, Alabama, and North Florida are all making really good progress as well. So we expect that we'll be sharing those announcements with you shortly. So all of this, as we think about what we have been able to accomplish together, how do we know that we're on track beyond just having more members, more people at our conference, more chapters, as we're thinking about our overall impact and what we are calling our proof points of progress. So there are several things that we are really proud of as an association, and we had to just do one slide, otherwise this update would be much longer than the hour it's planned for. But a couple of things that you see here. We've done really well in terms of our overall revenue coming in from 2023 to 2025, and very much on track to do very well in 2026. Though, if your organization is not a NAAIA partner, not attending our conference, not exhibiting at our conference, please send us a note and please make an introduction. We'd be very happy to chat with them. We've published 2 journey studies, and we are setting ourselves up to do our 3rd journey study coming as well. We've grown our LinkedIn followership from just over 1,000 members in 2022 to now 17,000 people who are following NAAIA, hearing about the work that we're doing as an association, reading your profiles when you've been spotlighted as a member of the month from your chapter, from our national organization. So that's been really exciting. 115 partners. As we consider our partner network, in addition to a number of community and strategic partners that we have within our network. And then the other thing I'll point out on here, just from this bottom row, is the runtime of our From Promise to Power docuseries that we've been launching this year. So we've dropped the first episode, and the second episode is on its way as well. And then there are a couple of chapters that have had documentary showings as well. So it was great to spend some time in May in Los Angeles and San Francisco with our chapters out there. DJ Inge, our Director of Strategic Communications, was just with our NAAIA South Florida chapter just a few weeks ago doing a premiere. And so we're doing more of those as we go to tell the history of NAAIA from whence we came to where we are and where we're going in the future. What all of this leads me to talk about is as we're considering the proof points of progress that indicate that we're doing well as an association, one of those main proof points comes from you and the opportunity that you have now for the third year in a row to share your direct feedback with me and with my leadership team around how NAAIA is servicing you as our members. What we heard loud and clear in our census this year is that our greatest value is the community that we provide. That's at our chapter events, that's in our webinars and the engagement that's happening in the chat function, that is in people connecting on LinkedIn from meeting each other during a program, that is being present at one of our convenings, whether that's our regional forums or our virtual summits or our national conference. The number one thing we heard loud and clear is the community, the spaces that NAAIA creates is where you are seeing the largest value from your membership. This year, we had 698 people take the census, which is about 21% of our overall membership. So a little lower percentage-wise than last year's census, but higher than our initial. So still feel good about our overall response rate as statistically valid for us as an organization. And then you also see here 89.6% is our NPS likelihood to recommend score. We were just doing some analysis on this. 70% is generally considered best in class from a net promoter score standpoint. So we feel really good about the reflection of how you are receiving and experiencing your NAAIA membership. In the census as well, we asked you to identify your role in the industry. What do you do day in and day out in the industry? And we're seeing higher numbers of people reporting in our community, legal and compliance, risk management, insurtech, employee benefits and life, which has been going up year over year. So very glad to see the diversity in our membership and our role types continuing to grow as NAAIA grows. From a generational standpoint, Gen X and Millennials are our largest two generation groups, really as expected within our membership. Then we still see very strong presence from baby boomers, and Gen Z continues to be an emerging group for us. As we look at the feedback and divide that up generationally of what each of the generations is asking for and receiving from their NAAIA experience, as you see here on the screen from our Gen Zers, are really talking about career entry, ways to gain exposure and visibility, and really see the largest benefit to them of their NAAIA experience being able to help grow their careers. From a millennial standpoint, we have a number of folks in our membership who are experiencing, maybe have had a promotion or two or three in their career and thinking about how do they really move forward and break into the next level of their career. And so they're seeing the programming that we are doing as very valuable for who they are and what they're doing. Our Gen X population within our membership is our volunteer backbone. So the vast majority of our national board members, our chapter leaders and chapter board members who are in a position now to be able to offer mentorship and guidance to other NAAIA members around what to do in your career, navigating obstacles, overcoming challenges that are being experienced. And our baby boomers, still very present, still very vocal, still very active within our membership, thinking about ways to share information and share experiences that they've had, and really thinking about their legacy and their overall impact. This is the group that has the highest pride in NAAIA, also across the board, our longest tenured members within NAAIA, so have been here for 10 plus years, within our membership and have seen NAAIA through several different seasons. From a gender standpoint, very consistent with what we saw in our 2018 Journey Study data, our 2023 Journey Study data, our 24 and 25 NAAIA Census, is that women are the vast majority of the makeup of our organization. And this number has been relatively consistent around 66%. One of the things that we've noticed, and not entirely surprising because it speaks to the backdrop of our industry and workforce, is that men are reporting a higher level of career success and career advancement than women are reporting. So there's a gap in the career outcomes. From an engagement standpoint, women are reporting higher engagement with us, but as they think about where their careers are landing, we're seeing women report lower career advancement in our membership. And so that strikes us certainly as an opportunity in our programming space and our overall design. From a measuring our impact standpoint, the way we look at, if you took the NAAIA Census, there are about 25 questions that we ask. And one of the ways in which we look at that data is looking at your overall satisfaction with your NAAIA experience, the trust and confidence you have in NAAIA to represent you, to speak for you, to speak to the industry at large, and how NAAIA is helping you grow in your career as a professional development organization. We are overall very pleased with how our members are reporting impact around satisfaction and around trust and confidence and around career outcomes. And overall, the through line, as we think through all of these, pride in membership, likelihood to recommend NAAIA, the way that NAAIA is impacting diversity, equity, inclusion initiatives within the industry at large, that our $175 professional dues are worth the price, that you are growing as a leader and growing as a professional. All of this, the through line is that you've reported you're very proud to be a NAAIA member and believe that your NAAIA membership, whether as a general member, as a chapter member, is helping you achieve success in whatever that success looks like for you. So we're glad to see this reported. And connected with this is always, while we're doing well, where do our opportunities exist as an organization? And so some things that we heard loud and clear and that we're doing, or things that we've already been doing, and you've told us that we have an opportunity to promote them, to make sure that you know about them. So we just started a couple of weeks ago a quarterly new member orientation that NAAIA National is hosting. So new members that joined within the last 90 days were invited into a new member orientation. Several of our chapters do new member orientations as well. And so this is just an additional step as a way to welcome you into NAAIA and help make sure that our new members are able to maximize their benefits of their membership as well. At our conference this year, we'll talk about this in a moment, we're going to have a first-time attendee orientation. We've been doing, in concert with our chapter network, a Know Before You Go to help you know what to expect as you are packing to join us in Charlotte. We're also going to do an additional step for first-time attendees of our conference. From a financial benefit standpoint, we are going to continue, as you'll see also in just a few minutes, offering a discounted member registration price for our national conference. And we will also offer an early bird registration price as a difference between members and non-members. And we'll share with you that to create more accessibility to help you along the way in your development, that we've reduced the price for our virtual summits that we have over the end of July and early August. From an access standpoint, we have been hosting some programming under what we've been calling the NAAIA Academy. So these are our agent roundtables, our claims clinics, our underwriter roundtables. And so we have some opportunity based on emerging segments within our membership to think differently about offering other academy classes and webinars that are really focused on what are the hot topics for this particular career vertical. So we're still looking through some data there, still reading your feedback to figure out exactly what that would look like. So we'll have some more updates for you at our annual membership meeting and conference. And then we will again have our career tracks at conference and continuing to refine those for the third year in a row. We will have tracks in our conference registration, so you'll be able to pick and choose your own adventure. You can do all workshops in one track. You can do workshops in multiple tracks, but just organizing content in a way that helps you make the case to your employer for you to attend conference and to bring a couple of other folks along with you. And then lastly, on the awareness standpoint, there were some questions from members around the functionality of our job board. And so up on our website at NAAIA.org, the careers tab is our job board. And so you can sign up to view all of the opportunities from our NAAIA partners. You can create an account there so that it sends you job alerts that's tailored to your profile, to your geography, to your career vertical within the industry. And so you'll see some more emails from us on exactly how to do that. We have our NAAIA Next mentorship program, which we launched in response to feedback from the NAAIA Census that is going along very well. And we'll continue to promote our Next mentorship program as an opportunity for you to grow in your own development and an opportunity for you to help others grow in their development and serving as mentors in that program. And then a question we get often is, in case you missed the program, the webinar, or you have to leave early for another meeting, is, are these programs recorded? And the answer to that is absolutely yes, they are. And so NAAIA has a YouTube channel where we post all of our replays. In our monthly newsletter that we send out, we also link there our most recent webinars so that they're very accessible for you to be able to access and to be able to share. But more opportunities for us to promote these benefits that are already available to you as NAAIA members. One of the big pieces of feedback that we've heard year over year in our census is really thinking about access for our student members. And so students that receive scholarships from us at a national level or from any of our chapters that participate in our talent development competition are offered complimentary student memberships already. And we had, as a result of actually some interns that we had this summer from Fisk University working with us and helping to review from their lens some of the work that we're doing at NAAIA National, had a wonderful conversation around how do we create accessibility for more students to be able to partake in what NAAIA has to offer in ways that could help them grow in their careers as they're getting started and thinking about what they want to do as industry professionals. And so we're announcing today that the student membership price is being reduced from $50 to $25. And that also helps us as professionals in the industry a little easier on our wallets if we're sponsoring a student that we know, a niece, a nephew, a child, someone from your church, a local school that you're partnered with, interns in your own organization. So just a little bit easier to help create access for them. And a reminder that our student membership is open to undergraduate students. And so as we look to really engage earlier in our career pipeline, wanted to make it easier and more accessible for students to be able to access you and to access all the benefits that NAAIA has to offer. So really, in looking at the NAAIA Census and now for the third year in a row, part of my reflection that I want to share with you before we move into our programs portion is resoundingly what we hear in the NAAIA Census is that the greatest strength of us as a professional association is our people. And while there are other professional associations out there, and we are partnered with a number of them, the benefit of NAAIA being a convening space across role types, across industries, across career levels. And so in the same conversations, you have agents and brokers and underwriters and claims folks and marketing professionals and employee benefits folks. And so creating this very well-rounded perspective of what's happening in the industry from a variety of lenses. And so continuing to lean on people being our greatest strength. Secondly, it's that while we have been growing, and we're very proud of the growth, making sure that we are stewarding our growth appropriately. So some of the feedback that you've given us over the past couple of years in the census and really through any of our vehicles is that as we're growing, to make sure that we are very aware and mitigating gaps in access and information sharing and making sure that people are plugged in as possible and really feel welcome and part of the NAAIA experience and not at all feel like they're just another member in just another association, that their NAAIA experience is really a very different value proposition and experience for them as they join NAAIA. And so we're continuing to think with our lens through our Vision 2030 strategy of being very disciplined about the ways that we're growing, ensuring that any offerings that we are doing at a national level and at a chapter level are sustainable. So not launching initiatives just for the sake of launching and saying that we have 5 more webinars than we had in our previous year, but really doing so in ways that are smart and thoughtful about your capacity, thoughtful about expense, thoughtful about impact to you and helping you grow in your career. And then the third is that community really remains our competitive advantage, which really speaks to the first point around just the number of amazingly smart and talented people that we have within our NAAIA family. And I'm talking about you. Yes, you. You are the advantage that we have as an organization, that you bring your brilliance and your intelligence and your energy and your engagement here. And we're so grateful to have you within our membership. And thank you for being a NAAIA member. So with that, I'm excited to invite Ashley White, our Chief of Staff, to join me here to talk through our virtual summits and programs. So Ashley, welcome to the stage.
It is a pleasure. And hello, NAAIA. So happy to see you again.
Yeah. Well, so I thought we would start, I really should say you thought we should start, with just a review of how programming has been going so far for this year.
Yeah, well, thank you for that. And so if you all have talked to me or been in the room with me, I focus heavily on the phrase of nothing for us without us. And so the program team starts building their content based on feedback and surveys that you all create. The other thing that if you talk to me, I promise more transparency in how we're doing it and sort of an update. So today is a wonderful opportunity for us to talk about how the programs have been going up from 6 months of our year. And so some of the stats that you'll see on the screen here, these are our major programs, the things that everyone has access to. You may have heard Omari say we do about 175 hours of programming a year. These are just some of the main things that you all have seen. And so we've done 9 virtual programs and 2 regional forums, one in Houston and one in Cleveland, both of which were a success and a wonderful time. But on average, our events have about 284 people showing up virtually to the space. And we've seen over 2,000 participants in our current all-inclusive programming, with our inclusive webinar series being the most popular, also the most accessible to our members and non-members in this space. Our regional forums total have had 157 participants come in to hear the content from our presenters, to hear from our national staff and also board, and engage really with access and some of the most senior leaders inside of our industry. And the last thing, as we talked about, launching our next mentorship program, which came from the census survey. This is our second iteration of it, and we have 30 pairs of mentors and mentees. They also get access to our executive and resident series, which is really, again, based off the feedback that we heard. People wanted to see folks who looked like them, had similar journeys to them, but also had rise in the ranks in the industry. And so they have the opportunity to have really one-on-one conversations, or one to a few conversations with these senior leaders to help them through their career journey as a mentee, or give back to the community and a little bit of reverse mentoring to our mentors as well. And so just a high-level snapshot of how we're doing. And we are highly scored on our surveys currently.
Yeah, I'm loving seeing the feedback that has been coming in from our advanced inclusion webinars. series in particular from our members. And so our Black History Month programming, our Insurance Careers Month programming, our Women's History Month programming, and then of course this month, our Pride Month and Juneteenth programs that we did as well. And so really just quality of speakers coming from our partner network and from our membership in the way in which they are being received. It's been great to see people listing quotes. I know there's a whole group of people that say we're going to make a T-shirt out of these quotes. I haven't seen them yet, so I'm hoping somebody's bringing some to the conference this year. So very, very excited about what we've had going on there.
And the other thing, as we think about from programming these activations, is where do we need to go? Where are the people? How are we making sure that we're paying good on what we look to do in our 2030 vision strategy? And one way to do that is expanding our reach to where the people are, to help them understand what insurance is. It's not just when you have an accident and you call your agent. There's so many other ways to enter this industry, get sticky into this industry, and there's so much talent out there that we have to go out and find them. That includes us talking to students and while we're making it more accessible, but there are other ways from us strategically to be intentional about how we go and, so to speak, share the gospel of what we do in the space. So, of course, you saw us at RIMS. If you visited our booth, it was a wonderful activation that we provided, but it was also a great place for us to test the concept created by Jeff for us to execute in a space to show who we are and how we show up in the industry. So it's a great booth. If you haven't seen the picture, please let me know. We'll make sure we get it to you. But as we think about where we go in the world, where we engage with people, we're also going to visit New Orleans as a part of the Essence Fest for the Global Black Economic Forum. And so that is going to be a conversation that we are able to have with all Black folks in the space on how we drive equity, how do we build and elevate Black women, which you saw in our survey is going to be something that we're very intentional about. We've been doing it this year, but we're doubling down on that as well. So that part or that activation and partnership, more to come on that, but a wonderful opportunity for us. The next thing is we're going to stick with Black because we are Black. The Afrotech Conference in Houston. As we think about where insurance is going, from InsurTech to AI and all of the conversations that you all have either sent to me via email or put in the surveys, we're going to engage with some of the foremost Black folks in tech to also showcase why insurance, how can we build, how can we leverage AI into this space? And that will also come with some unique benefits for us, as we will talk about later. So more to come on the particular the industry presence that we'll go in and be able to pull additional benefits and partnerships from spaces with whether Black focus organizations or Black organizations that can support our members.
Yeah, absolutely. What's really exciting to me about all of these spaces is we have a number of members that are already very deeply engaged in these conferences. I'm expecting we'll see a good number of our members at Essence Fest who are already attending Essence Fest annually, and it'll be exciting to be there with the Global Black Economic Forum. And that these are spaces that are covering known gaps in the insurance industry, right? Where from our own research data, in addition to our census data, where we see gaps in Black technologists, where our partners are looking to recruit more people into the IT space and to the InsurTech space. And in particular, as we think about Essence Fest, a broader audience than one in which we normally get to engage, but knowing that there's a high degree of professional, senior level, primarily Black women who attend Essence Fest is a wonderful opportunity to help introduce insurance and risk management as a career and industry of choice for this audience.
For sure.
And then we have our leadership summits, and this is really exciting because this is year 10 of our National Leadership Summit.
Yes, NLS is in its 10th year. And one of the things you may come to notice is that the price has been adjusted. You mentioned it a little earlier, but one of the things we want to make sure is that our programming is accessible, that our members are finding true value. We did a number of focus groups. We had a number of conversations with multiple sort of business elements inside of our membership. And that was one of the things that we heard, is that we need to make sure that we keep our programming accessible. So we took that back and we made sure that we were able to do that. But the thing I want to note is that the programming quality is better coming out with some of the things that we are putting out, but the price has been reduced. And we've been able to be able to make that work and continue to do the value. So National Leadership Summit, July 20th. 21st, 22nd. We have guides for you and other documents if you needed some justification as well. Please let us know, but you can also find those on our website.
That's great. That's great. I do think the price drop here is key in highlighting on accessibility. One of the things that we often talk about is share of wallet and what percentage are we asking of our members. And we have very highly engaged members who attend a number of our programs. And so if you're paying for your membership out of pocket, if you're paying to come to conference out of pocket, you're paying to come to our NLS out of pocket as well, wanting to make sure that we are being as reasonable in our ask while still providing this very high quality experience for the attendees of those programs. So NLS is one of my favorites. I was at, I think, the second one at our conference in 2019, back when it was the National Leadership Development Series. And it has just continued to grow year over year in just phenomenal ways. So I'm a graduate of this program. And so I'm just excited that more and more of our members continue to experience all the goodness that goes through NLS.
Yeah, but this is one of three, which takes us to our Emerging Leader Summit. We'll be talking, the theme of the Emerging Leader Summit this year is the Empowerment Engine, Turning Ambition into Achievement. And this is going to be for our members who are in fact emerging leaders. And so we have a lot of conversation about who can go where. There's a guide for that as well. But when we explain to this program, we talk about the difference between professional journey and life journey. And so this content is really based for those who may be under 40, but if you're like 45, we won't kick you out for sure. But we want to make sure that you also come to a program that's going to be relevant to your experience, both professionally and also lived. And so one thing to mention, if you are thinking, or if you're in your particular professional journey, you think this might be for you, there may be content in there that might not be. And so we just want to make sure that you find the right place for you to make sure you're getting the most value out of your experience with our summit series. And so the Emerging Leader Summit will happen August 4th. It is a one-day experience. Again, if you need any support or justification, we have documents prepared for you to help you have those conversations with your leader if you find that this is a program that you would like to attend.
Absolutely. And in addition to our Emerging Leader Summit, we also are bringing back, and this is also in its third year.
Yes.
The Emerging Leader Summit in its third year. Our Agent Broker Summit is also in its third year. What can the people expect?
Nuanced conversations, skill-based, focused conversations with industry leaders that have been highlighted and raised their hand to come in and support the work. There may be some special appearances as well. We can talk more about those later. But this is going to happen August 5th, and we're really going to be focused heavily on relationships into revenue, which is, again, more conversation based on conversations we've had from our agent and brokers in spaces where they've been able to give us feedback.
Yeah. We have at our conference this year, which we'll be talking about with Jeff in just a moment, an agent, broker, and entrepreneurship track in workshops, which was the original track that we had at the NAAIA National Conference. So I'm loving and the feedback that we're hearing from our agent and broker members around the programming that has been dedicated for them, put on by them as well. And really looking forward to seeing the feedback from folks who are attending our summits this year.
Well, listen, I love our summit series, but I think it's time to give people what they want. And so I hope to see you all there. And I will cede the floor and cede my time to yourself. Thank you so much, Brad.
Thank you.
I will see you later.
Thank you, Ashley. And of course, what the people want, what we all want to know is what is happening with our national conference in Charlotte this year. And so I'm excited to welcome to the stage Jeff Snow, our Chief Operating Officer. Jeff, welcome. Glad to have you here. And we have some exciting updates to share.
I thought we were ready to end the town hall. It's been great.
I think the people might find us if we don't share.
They know how to find me. They definitely do.
Yes, indeed.
There are some exciting updates with National Conference. It is upon us. And the first thing we would love to let everyone know is the theme. We are going to Charlotte, as everyone knows. And so, without further ado, Rooted to Rise, strengthening leaders and expanding opportunity. We look forward to welcoming you to the Queen City, September 22nd through the 24th. And it's going to be, for those who have attended NAAIA National Conference before, you can expect more of the same and then some. For those who have not attended past, we welcome you and we are excited to show you what we have to offer because I encourage you to talk to those who haven't been in the past. And for those who are looking for new friends, bring a friend along.
Yes. Now, I know Janelle and George and the NAAIA Cincinnati crew, because Cincinnati also goes by the Queen City.
Yes.
And so I know they might have some feelings about that, but we are excited to be in Charlotte this year.
They're welcome to compete. Who brings the most
Cincinnati to be on the map. So, yes. And so you mentioned more of the same for folks who have attended in the past. And so here on the screen, we have with that more of the same.
More to expect, what to expect. As many of you are aware, the NAAIA National Conference has seen some growth, as you mentioned a little earlier, and we continue to experience that. We are tempering our growth, so we are not hopping to a 5,000 person conference this year. So you will see 1,300 to 1,500 Black excellence on display. We will have 3 main stage plenaries, as we generally do, over an abundance of depth in our workshops, 28 workshops, 125 plus speakers. Yes, it's a lot of speakers. The Career Fair and Trade Show will happen again this year. It's a 2-day event. It is free and open to the public. So we encourage, we do a great job of trying to make sure that the local market is aware of this as well. We want to make sure that everyone knows that NAAIA is coming to Charlotte. So be sure to polish up your resumes and bring your opportunities to that Career Fair and Trade Show that happens on the Tuesday and Wednesday of conference as well. And that partner dining around. So on Wednesday evening of conference is the free time, is your opportunity to make your industry connections, the partner dine around, and then dine around to local restaurants and opportunities as well.
Absolutely. And what we didn't put on here, but I think everyone already knows is our gala, which closes, and our leadership award nominations are open now, which we'll talk about in a few minutes as well.
Absolutely.
And so we'll be recognizing at that gala our 2026 Emerging Leader Award winner, Corporate Leader Award winner,
Lifetime Achievement,
and Lifetime Achievement Award.
Absolutely. So make sure you're making those nominees.
Yes.
While they're open. Don't email us the day after they close.
Yes.
They'll be closed.
They will be closed. Yes, out of fairness. And so while we have several things that people already know that they're going to experience,
there's always new things.
There's always new things.
This is not an exhaustive list.
Yeah.
However, we're going to give you a little snippet into what we have going on. For the first time, we will have a first-time attendees orientation, making sure that everyone who is joining us for the first time has a good understanding of what all we have to offer during the national conference. We're going to have a student leader roundtable, so that's an exciting in combination with HBCU Impact. We're going to make sure that we are engaging the next generation of insurance professionals. We'll have a chapter board meetup. So for all of our leaders, we're going to have a meetup on the trade show floor to allow everyone to network and trade best practices and all kinds of growth in leadership development. And then we have I'm really excited about this last portion. So we're going to have a Black business fair where we're allowing and inviting all of the local Black businesses to come in and showcase their wares and encourage all of our attendees to come and support Black businesses and pour more into the economy. So that is an exciting addition this year. Really excited.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out which one was my favorite. And originally I was on the chapter board meeting because we have 396 people who serve as volunteer leaders on our chapter boards across the NAAIA network. And then it was like, well, you can't not be excited about the student leader roundtable. And given our proximity in Charlotte to so many colleges and universities right there, and the opportunity to bring those students in and be at our career fair. And then the first time attendees always have such excitement about conference, and then the business fair. So it's hard to pick. So I'm excited about all of it and more in Charlotte this year.
Of course. Let us tell you what the prices will be.
Yes.
It is, again, not $25.
Not $25, which was a rumor floating last year.
Yes, it was a big one too.
I don't know where that came from. But
we're not there yet. So our prices again, continue to be one of the best values in the insurance industry from an event perspective, especially our early bird. So first, conference registration will be opening up in early July. So you keep your eyes peeled in your email. You will get that blast and it'll say registration is open. Our room blocks will open at the same exact time. So please wait to make your room reservations so that you make them within the room blocks as well. And early bird registration, which will run through the end of July, July 31st. And that is $900 for members, $1,100 for non-members. I'll give you a hint though. If you're a non-member, join for $175 and you save $25 because your registration will still be $900. So the math is math. And so go ahead and join that because you really want that member ribbon. Yes. It's a highly coveted thing in the national conference. General membership after early bird will be $1,000 and $1,200 for members. And student membership remains at $350. And we do verify that those registrations are for undergraduate members only.
Yes, yeah. And again, space because it's $350 for students, but the value of being able to attend full conference, that's all the sessions,
everything.
That's all the workshops for $350 for students that come along.
Because as I mentioned, the career fair, trade show and career fair is open to everyone. Yes. So opportunities for jobs, interacting with the partners and all the exhibitors, the community, students, everyone is welcome to come to that for no cost. However, we would encourage the students to take full advantage of everything from the welcome reception all the way through the gala. And in order to help you all make that case for the financial investment that is required to come to the conference, we provide, again, a justification guide, as you'll see that on the screen as well. And that link will be live when we launch the conference website. So you'll have access to be able to download that. It provides some data and information to help you paint the picture as to why this is not only a wonderful time to recharge and be around people you haven't seen maybe for a year, but also chock full of professional development and reasons to help elevate you in your career.
Absolutely. Yeah. I am always very excited about conference and really the number one thing that we hear in our census year over year as the most valuable benefit that our members report having is attending the NAAIA National Conference. And so the opportunity to be in the room or really the rooms for all the programming that they're doing during the National Conference, I think is just bar none one of the best. And we did that study that looked at other conferences and their prices and their offerings. And so the meals that are provided in addition to the events, not a separate ticket for the gala, not a separate ticket for the welcome reception, all of that built into full conference registration. So really still one of the best deals in the industry and just a really powerful 3 days.
Absolutely.
Really powerful.
The testimonies that we hear year over year, which is also evidenced by seeing the same face. We've seen new faces, but we've seen recurring faces. It's not all new people every year. That's a telling, ability to see how the impact makes it worth your time and investment to come every year, regardless of where.
Absolutely. Well, Jeff, thank you so much for sharing this information with all of us. And I'm sure people are very eager to see the registration open and be able to make sure that they are in the number for joining us this September in Charlotte.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much. Well, with that, folks, as you see, plenty of work, plenty of movement that is happening, movement and progress that's happening here in the NAAIA National Network. And we'll take a peek at any of the questions that you have that have come in through our Q&A.
All right, we have one question for our first-time attendees. The question is, will the first-time attendee orientation be in person at conference?
Yeah, that's a really good question. What we actually think we're going to do is a virtual first-time attendee registration. So when conference registration closes and people indicate that they're first-time attendees, we're going to invite them to a special session. And the reason we're thinking about doing it that way, different than other conferences, is some of the feedback that we've heard from first-time attendees has been around, like, what am I supposed to pack? If I come on Tuesday, do I need to show up suited and booted, or am I allowed to come and be a little bit more casual? Really, what's the vibe? And so some of that is information that we are covering, and chapters are covering in the Know Before You Go. And there's a what to wear guide that's included as well for conference. But we've found it really helpful to have that conversation. And so we want to have that conversation before people get on the plane, train, or automobile on their way to Charlotte, just to answer any questions that they have, things that they're wondering about, especially for our folks who are coming in what I would call single riders, where maybe they are not working for a NAAIA partner. They're not going to be in a large group of 10, 12, 20 people from their company that are present at conference. And so they're looking to make connections with other first-time attendees so that they have conference buddies as well. And so we want to set them up to be able to do that as quickly as possible and as early as possible before they even step foot in Charlotte.
One more question about where can our members find more information about conference?
Yes. So the justification guide that we mentioned is going to be up on our NAAIA.org website. It will also go out in an email connected with the town hall recording that we'll share with the full membership so that you have access to it now. But it does live on our website to start those conversations with your manager. And it will also be on the conference registration website when that launches. I'm a big believer in seeing it to believe it. And so I would also encourage you, if you're not quite sure what to expect at conference, you can read feedback from other members who have attended conference. If you go on LinkedIn and search the hashtag NAAIA25, people that posted about their experience and shared pictures from the gala, from workshops, from our welcome reception, you can find all of that on LinkedIn. I want to say there were about 200 or so posts last year that used that hashtag. And so you'll find those just by searching that on LinkedIn, NAAIA25. Anything else there? All right.
There is a question regarding bringing guests to conference. So if you want to talk about ticket availability for welcome reception and gala.
Yeah, absolutely. So in your registration for conference, what you'll see on the page is you are first registering yourself. And so you're putting in all of your information. If you're bringing a guest with you and perhaps that person is not attending the full conference, maybe they're just coming with you to the welcome reception, maybe they're just joining with you for the gala, after you have completed registering yourself and before payment, you will see an option to add a ticket for the welcome reception, to add a ticket for the gala as well. And so all of that is built in to the registration process.
I think that's it.
So, all right, very good. Well, with that, we'll say thank you so much for joining us for today's town hall. We will certainly send out the recording so that you have it. All of these dates that are here in the screen are in our newsletter that was shared yesterday. And you'll see more of them, is what we have covered today in terms of our upcoming programming. This opportunity to speak directly to you about what you have shared with us. Thank you for taking the NAAIA Census. Thank you for sharing your comments and feedback directly with us, with our chapter leaders, with our national board members. We read every comment and we take all of your feedback seriously as we think about the best ways to integrate it into NAAIA's work. And so thank you for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you at our virtual summits later on in July and in early August, and at our NAAIA National Conference in September in Charlotte, North Carolina. Take care, everybody. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for watching this flashback episode of NAAIA. We appreciate your time and hope you found the insights valuable. Stay tuned for more enriching content. Until next time, thank you for being a part of the NAAIA community.